several journalists have been suspended over their unhappiness with the recent editorial changes. Well, we're joined now by political analyst Sipho Seepe ahead of that meeting today. Prof, good morning and thanks for your time. What are the questions that need to be asked of the minister when it comes to the controversy now surrounding the SABC?
Well, I think the chairperson of the subcommittee on communication, Jackson Muthambi, has already laid out what those concerns are. One is the issue of policy, because for a party that has advocated and fought for freedom of expression, freedom of access to information and all that, this behavior by the SABC seems almost a throwback in the old days. And Jackson Muthambi says we see this as a policy that has changed. It has never been put to the public. It has never been put to even the ANC as a ruling party. But most importantly, it is a policy that would be considered to be unconstitutional. And we've seen the protest from a number of groupings, journalists, civic organizations, but some have even said that they'll go to court because they are very convinced that this violates the right to information and also freedom of expression and freedom of the media.
Now, he says that they're going to ask her to act against Hlari Motsoeneng for the decisions that have been made. Do you think she will? I mean, she's often seen as his last line of defense when it comes to...
Well, Jackson Muthambi was he tried to avoid that question, because what he says is that what we need to look at SABC is the leadership. To simply isolate an individual and pretend that removing one person will be an answer is not to look at the culture of the organization. So, because even before Hlari Motsoeneng, the whole idea of censorship was also there in the past.
Yes.
So
not new.
It's not new. So the pretense that problems start with one person and therefore dealing with one person. But also, as we have also heard with Jimmy Matthews, the interview that was here, that some of these people have been complicit to the decisions. So there are also those issues that must be dealt with. That's why some of the people within the ANC have actually said that let's look at the expertise that is resident within the SABC.
I mean, do you think that the minister is being made a scapegoat? Because like we've been saying, we know that Hlari Motsoeneng cannot act alone. I mean, he has to either be taking the direction from somebody above or be getting the go-ahead if it's his idea to do these, to make these decisions. And ultimately, this goes back to government, this goes back to the ANC.
Well, we have a ruling party, and the ruling party has policies. And people are deployed in government to make sure that those policies are carried out. And if there is almost a deviation from those policies, those who are deployed will actually be asked. So she's not being made a scapegoat, she's made to account. But we must also understand that the minister's accounting is not only limited to the party, it also includes accounting to the person who appointed the president. It also includes accounting to parliament. And also it also, most importantly, means accounting to society. So it cannot be simply left to the ANC. But as a party that has come up with policy, it is understandable that it will like to hear from her. But we must also, there's also a danger where the party might actually want to get involved or might be seen to be getting involved into the affairs of the SABC. And when you do that, we should not celebrate that, because later we'll be actually saying that the SABC is controlled from the Tweed House, and we do not want that situation. We want to have expertise that is competent within the SABC to make those decisions without an influence from the Tweed House.
Yeah. And it does seem to be getting quite messy. I mean, we have the ANC Youth League saying we stand with the SABC. We have reports of Colin Maine meeting with the Hlari Motsoeneng in a hotel somewhere last week. We also have now Jackson Muthambi saying what he said. Then we had Gwede Mantashe taking a different stance a few weeks ago. It's all very confusing.
Yeah, but you see, the biggest problem,
exactly what you were saying.
The biggest problem that we tend to think that we can find a quick solution to a bigger problem. Because as you say that, the very same Hlari Motsoeneng is also somebody who has a lot of support. I mean, if you look at the groupings like the artists, the actors, and the people who are into theater, into television, they say this is one person who has been brave enough to take decisions that previous COOs or CEOs were not able to do. So And there's a fear that also it might be a divisive issue, but I think having to talk about it from the first principles, the right to know, it becomes very important. The right to information becomes important, and also making sure that we do not condone acts and conducts that may be in violation of the Constitution.
And then just looking at reports yesterday, for example, the front page of the Sunday Times and Tlhadi Matsuneng and the decision that involved, the TV program that belongs to the president's daughter, and him seemingly having pushed that through without any, doesn't help the case at all.
No, of course. I mean, there are issues, but what I'm also saying is that people don't just become powerful.
Yes.
They are also made powerful by people who are complicit, who are also beneficiaries to the changes in power relations within the organization. And as Jim Matthews was saying, and it's also something that the ANC itself must address, where Jim Matthews said there are some people within the ANC colluding with Tlhadi Matsuneng that made certain things possible. Of course, when he was now questioned, you found him unable to exclude himself, that he had to accept that he was complicit to that. So when you look at this, let us not look for a silver bullet. Let us say we have a very important instrument, an institution that needs to be protected, and what for it to be able to do its job, these are the things that need to be in place.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see what the minister is asked and how she responds later on. Thanks very much. That's political analyst Sipho Seepe with us in studio.